Congratulations for always being somewhere where mainstream media is not.
I mean, it really has, to me, has been an economic Hunger Games that's being depicted by corporate media that happens to take advertisements from companies like John Deere as the wealthiest country on earth, American dream, work hard. Can you kind of talk about the disconnect you felt in these conditions working at John Deere while you were getting less and less, but it's depicted much differently?
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it all. Look, corporate media controls the narrative, and that's what's fed to people every day.
Talk about the threat beyond you to people fighting these pipelines, this pollution, and this greed and evil.
What's happening to me is a new fossil fuel industry playbook.
What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? I am fixing to be homeless. And I never dreamed in all my life I would ever be homeless.
You know, Joe Biden, proclaims to be the most pro-union president in history. Where's he at? Where's he talking now?
Joe Manchin has been the thorn in the side of West Virginians for decades.
We're just a number to them. We're as replaceable as a light bulb.
We are now over 7 years past this catastrophe in Flint, where residents, many of which are behind me, were poisoned.
Go all the way back to the media, and they're not there for us. There's no one there for us. We're all here struggling, and nothing's being done.
You're not talking about like residual scars from 6 years ago. You're talking about stuff you're getting now.
This is in the last 24 hours.
You know, I always talk about how to get away with murder. Ask Snyder, ask Nussel. They're all helping him do it.
She was very family-oriented. She light up the room when she comes.
Oh, and they wanted to get rid of her pension.
Oh,
so, yeah. So, like, all the senior nurses, not only are they're not getting the wage, their pension is being frozen.
You're currently homeless, working at Amazon?
Currently am, yeah. I have been homeless for the past, 2.5, almost 3 years that I've been here now. And I haven't been able to afford a place.
This whole sordid, crappy affair is completely illegal.
Hey, yo, stop it!
Unmask them! Unmask them!
Fuck you!
Unmask them!
Literally private property all over the fence, even though I believe we're on a public sidewalk. So in Amazon's world, it's private property.
Our elected officials, both of mine, Shelley Moore Capito and Joe Manchin, has just like always, like they did with the minimum wage raise, ripped the people out.
Corporatist politicians like Nancy Pelosi are telling us we have to wait longer.
We are now living at a time where a generation must rise up, not out of anger, but out of survival.
And Eastern Kentuckians in general are hardly ever afforded the opportunity to tell our own stories.
I end up getting a call from work in March, and I was evicted.
I be wanting to snap, I be wanting to go crazy, because it's destroying me, and there's nothing else to do. But I hurt, I cry every night.
We're back to normal. Well, I'm going around, and it seems like we're just back to the shitty normal that's only getting worse.
If back to normal means we're back to being underpaid, it means we're back to being worked like dogs, it means that they're back to harassing homeless people, you can keep your fucking normal.
She did not say, okay, I'm going to go to be a doctor, and this is something that I'm just going to have to do. I'm going to have to come in here and do this. She did not. She signed up to be a night sorter at Amazon. She had no business COVID testing.
Corporate media had us believing that we're just lucky to have a job. We're lucky. If you're still at a place that still offers insurance and you're not paying, you're lucky.
Seconds. It's not minutes that your time off task starts. They track you down to the second.
And the houses are pretty nice, pretty big over here, as opposed to the east side, which is fairly poor, less signs in general. But you can see vacant lots. Vacant lots.
It's not that they don't like the
how winter come up, it's like they're like so busy and the way that they go about things is just like
right to block the public from coming up. I'm pretty sure the Flint Journal knows about it. I broke it in the Detroit Metro Times and the Intercept on on Governor Rick Snyder's administration. Their phones were deleted right before the launch of a criminal investigation. Health officials' phones had no messages on them. The governor refused to hand over key documents. I mean, to be honestly, I know you guys know about it. I don't know why you're not reporting it.
I will point out that all the officers here are white.
Joe Biden, you said that if we get you into office, we elect you into office, you got our back. You said, black community, I got your back.
I don't understand why they're here. I don't understand why they have to do all this because one of their people decided to kill somebody.
Fucking kidding?
Seriously? They can go home and tell their kids what they did.
Leave the area, guys. All right, everybody's gotta move.
This is the perfect physical manifestation of why we need to defund the police.
But the right thing to do, the morally just thing to do, is to bring relief to people. And God knows that people all over this country are suffering. About 140 million people who live in poverty or poverty adjacent. And those people are black. Those people are brown. Those people are white. Those people are indigenous. Those people are Asian. Poverty touches all.
You know, what's amazing to me, because we're seeing strikes happening all over the country, is workers who have been, exploited and beaten down. They're kind of saying enough is enough. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore.
I think what we're seeing across the country is, even though some workers' wages are viewed as high, it's not really keeping up with the cost of living. And then they look at the corporate side of things, where executives are making hundreds and hundreds of times what a line worker does.
They counted on people not being able to fight back. And we figured out a way through grit and struggle and tenacity and the support of so many people.
It seems to me there is some hope. I'm not saying this will overthrow the system tomorrow, but what do you think about, workers are kind of finally saying, well, what else do we have to lose?
Yeah, I think a big part of it is workers are becoming more informed, with sites like you, social media, people getting our message out, and just, the climate right now.
It's also bringing us closer together as a union, as a group of people.
It's the workers going out there and making this work. It's the old adage I used to tell when I would sit in on negotiations. I go and I trade my labor for a wage. You're not giving me nothing. I'm making that wage.
Listen, you can't unite with someone who don't want to unite with you. So you have to be willing to really fight and do what you need to do when you have the majority.
Not every day is going to be a good day, but the victories that we do have, we definitely amplify them.
Democrats have basically tried to straddle the line where they're more woke and not verbally as offensive as the Republicans, but their policies basically leave these same people to fend for themselves.
Same story, right? It's the same story every time. One's just one's read like a horror story and one's read like a fairy tale, depending on your eyes. But it's the same ending every time. We know how this book ends.
The struggle is what makes us stronger. I don't have a lifetime of government experience because I've worked actual jobs.
A type of liberation that transcends all understanding. That having universal health care is a type of understanding. Canceling student debt is a type of understanding.
How can a progressive combat that going forward to not be smeared out of the race?
I want progressives to be very resolute, and I want us to keep on running because we are winning. I raised $6 million in this race.
I was outperforming every other candidate in this race until that dark money came in.
If you care, and you should care, we've been begging you to care, you need to be out here.
I'm telling you that the reason why your life is so crappy is because the person that you voted in, not thinking about it, has been ruining your quality of life. Let's talk about the things that actually matter.
We're trying to change the working conditions not only for Starbucks workers, but hopefully this leads to more people being able to say, enough is enough.
I admire your work, Jordan, on Flint water issue and so many other issues. And I just want to urge people listening to continue to support Status Coup.